Then I went ahead and hit record, and we'll rock and roll here.
Okay.
Okay, hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris. Usually on my right-hand side is my right-hand man, Gabriel, and he has been requested, but he is in school. He is a young man with a plan, and he's currently in school upstairs. He's online here in Canada, or at least where I'm at in Canada. He's online. And so today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we have... And we've been debating how to say this. I said Rioghan or Rioghan or Rioghan. I imagine it's Gaelic, and my closest interpretation would be Rioghan or Rioghan, but I don't know. Anyway, Rioghan has a debut EP called Blackened Sky. She's from Finland, so that makes sense because the sky is always blackened in Finland. Released on March 10th, 2021 via Inverse Records, and right now I'm being joined by Rioghan herself to share some more information about what she's got going on. So, Rioghan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Now, we were just chatting about how life in Finland is, aside from the blackened sky and the darkness and the introversion. You were saying that, it's not that bad. And I've heard that. I hear that so often. Oh, it's not that bad in Finland. Okay, so nobody's getting sick. There's no lockdown. What? How has this situation gone for you? And I guess more specifically, was this EP going to happen anyway? Or was this kind of as a result of, being allowed to have your introversion?
I think this was going to happen anyway. But we have been working on this about over a year before the first single release. So I think it was going to happen anyway, but maybe everyone had a bit more time to put into it because all the live shows and stuff were cancelled and that kind of situations. So.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned more time was put into it. In what way? Like rewriting and making sure the arrangement was solid, or how was more time?
Yeah, and we had a lot of time together, so we just were able to make plans for spend a weekend together and arrange and work on the songs and that kind of stuff, which is kind of rare because everyone has so tight schedules always.
Right. So
this has been made on the spot.
Okay, very cool. And then something that came to mind when you said, Finnish people are introverted anyway, it made me think of, there's one word for being at home by yourself in your underwear and drunk.
Yeah, that's kalsarikännit. Yeah.
So when you said a nation full of introverted people, I thought it has to be, because there's one word to describe a very introverted situation, very unique introverted situation.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of that, I bet. Been a lot of that.
Yeah, but it's not that different, really. People stay at home. People like to be at home, so...
Beautiful. Now, this EP, is there a theme to it? What is this EP about? What is the Blackened Sky?
Maybe the EP is just... There is not a whole theme to it, really, except the lyrics, maybe. The whole EP is based on my poetry, so the lyrics were there first, and then we made the songs to those. So maybe that's the whole point. So it's kind of vocal forward thing right now. So and the songs are very different, and they are kind of even different genres, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how people are gonna react to that. That's interesting because there are so many different kind of songs.
Yeah, well, I've heard the EP, and you have a lot of sonic textures, but I don't get the vibe that it doesn't belong on the same EP. Does that make sense? Okay,
good.
Yeah, because sometimes that happens. especially with younger.
Yeah, and I was kind of worried about that. That what if they just sound like four whole different worlds and just they are forced to be together? But I think I have heard that too. That it sounds like an EP.
It does. It sounds like a collective body of work, and.
Cool.
Maybe
Thanks.
you're welcome. Maybe you could write a song about two worlds being forced together. That would be an interesting song.
Maybe.
Yeah. Sweet. Now, you said based on your poetry, lyrics first, vocal forward. That is very unique, especially in this genre. How did you guys do that? Did you already have like vocal melodies in mind? Or did you guys write music to try and emphasize maybe the emotions of what you were writing? How did you guys...
Yeah, a little bit of this and that actually. So when I do songs myself, then I have first the lyric and then I get some melody for that, and after that I just there will be some chords in piano maybe, and then all the other instruments and soundscape is added. So that's kind of my thing of doing this. But when we had a few guys there helping with the composing, we were in two songs, actually exactly these that have already been released. We did it like that. We first had a few ideas, like melodic ideas and rhythmic, that kind of stuff, and then we picked a lyric that would fit into that scene.
Okay.
And then arranged the poem a little bit so it will fit to be a lyric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Poetry being fitted into a lyric.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Does it mean that it needs to be syllabically different?
No, not necessarily. Sometimes it just fits there right away, but sometimes you have to maybe add some repetition or get stuff out of there and maybe shorten something, lengthen something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very cool stuff. Now, one of my other questions was going to be, actually, if you don't mind, take us through your space. This is a very cool space that you're in right now. I dig the chandelier, the wallpaper. I mean, it's if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty spiffy space. It's better than my space.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to go around my room. It's terrible. It's awful.
Well, this is just my workroom. I renovated it this summer. And first I thought it should be light blue, but then the wallpaper hit me in the store. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, it has to be pink. It also has a pink floor.
Oh, no. Okay. The worst. Okay, beautiful. So you mentioned you remodeled over the summer while all the introverted lockdown was happening and people were by themselves in their underwear, drunk, eating slapped ears. That's my favorite part. Eating the slapped ears, the cinnamon buns. I dig that.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, calling cinnamon buns slapped ears. I think that is a fascinating thing. Cool. So then traditional ways of marketing the record would be, playing shows. Is that a possibility in Finland yet?
Well, there have been some very small places having live things going on, but not really. And all the big shows are rescheduled to somewhere in the future. So not yet.
Okay. Now,
really?
That takes me into this year. And I know it's pretty early on in the year, but do you have any plans for this year, for 2021?
Yeah, well, I'm planning to start recording a full-length album. And I have already made some arrangements with people who I'm going to write songs with. But I'm not going to tell you anything.
What?
And I think we are going to get a live lineup arranged this year. Not sure if live shows, that depends on the situation with this whole pandemic thing, but we need to, because I don't have anyone really. So I'm looking for a live lineup.
All right. Well, when you're introverted, you shouldn't have anybody. You should be.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why it's hard.
Now.
Because I need people. That's the worst part.
It is the worst part. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, I'm looking at this music video for Hollowness. Is that like witchcraft that you're doing in the woods by yourself? That's what do you
Well, maybe. Maybe. Well, that depends on the interpretation. What do you think about it? But that was kind of the main idea in the video, to have this like two worlds collide thing. And, you know, when the lyric has this two places at once, two faces at once thing. So we kind of got into that and got the idea.
Okay. Now, I imagine, because a lot of music videos, like, you know, how is it done during, you know, lockdown or whatever, but it kind of looks like, for the most part, pretty low key, going through the forest, doing some witchcraft or whatever. And pretty low key then, right?
Yeah, we had a very small group, only 3 people. So that was a few of my friends came to help, and we had seen each other during the pandemic too. So it was just small group and going to the woods, so no other people around, so it was safe. Yeah, so we only had one camera and a little bit of props, and it took maybe 4 hours, 5 hours tops.
Okay. Very cool. And then for enough, we just have a beautiful lyric video. And something I'm seeing on the YouTube comments anyway is people like your voice. They say you have a very pretty voice.
That's cool.
Yeah. One person says an amazing voice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Other person says they love the voice.
Interesting. Well, that's a good start, I think.
Yeah. It is a good start, you know?
So maybe this thing has a future if people like my voice.
Maybe it does. Now, we chatted about the EP having lyrics and poetry. Is there a concept to the whole EP?
Well, not really. I wouldn't say there is a concept, because all the poems are from different times also. So there is really not the same thing that repeats or ties them together, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And then how did Inverse Records get involved? Were you looking to release the EP and then got in touch with them?
Joni Kantoniemi, who works at Inverse Records, we go way back.
Oh, no.
Because we worked together in Firebox Records when that was still alive. Maybe, what is it? Oh my God, 10 years or so. And there we worked together and had fun, and then we really didn't see each other for many years. And now, when I had this going on, I was like, who I'm gonna contact? Maybe Joni.
Maybe Joni.
And then he was like, yeah, this is awesome. Let's do this.
Okay. Yeah. So if Joni's listening in, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I've been working with Joni for a few years now. They were actually one of the first record labels I started working with after I started the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people are there, but I know Joni and I know Jaakko.
Yeah, I think there's a few more, but Joni is the only one I know at the time.
Okay. Good old Joni. He has an aggressive picture. I'm looking at his picture right now, and I don't see somebody who would have fun. He looks like the last person on the planet to have fun in this picture.
But he's really fun.
I bet he is. I bet he is. Cool. Okay. I don't know that I necessarily have any more questions for you. We chatted about Hollowness. We chatted about Enough. We chatted about Blackened Sky. We chatted about 2020. We chatted about 2021. Okay, really bad joke for you. Did you hear about the fight between 2019 and 2020?
No.
2021.
Okay, that was bad.
It was very bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Gabriel were here, though, he would love it, and he did love it. That's where I got it from. That's what kids are good for. Fantastic. Sweet. So yeah, being released in March, kind of just playing it by ear. You mentioned that you have a full album coming up. I think something really cool, actually, is since these are based on poems, keeping the original poem and releasing that almost as like a separate either booklet or whatever, so that people could dive into the poems that inspired the songs, if that's not something you've already done.
No, I haven't released any poems in like book form or that kind of. There is a website where I publish those, and there are other users too who can publish things. So it's kind of a forum actually. But yeah, nothing more than that.
Okay. Something to consider. Maybe Yoni can get involved. He's a fun guy.
Maybe.
Maybe. Beautiful. I was trying to think of some Yoni jokes, but I don't really have any Yoni jokes. Cool.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, he'll hate me forever. Actually, true story, before I understood more about Finland, I called him Joni. And I was like, Joni and Jacko. And then I'd get laughs like it's Yoni and Yako. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now I know.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is there anything that I missed that you wanted to chat about today, Rioghan?
Nothing that comes to mind right now. So
Okay.
I guess we covered all.
Yeah. I mean, a really good start. Debut EP. Looking forward to seeing, what you have coming down next, what the album's going to sound like. I know you said you didn't want to chat too much about it, but I'm curious, similar sound? Are you looking to evolve in any way? Is there...
I think the album is gonna go a little bit to the fuller or aggressive side, maybe a hint of industrial things going on and that kind of stuff. So exciting.
Okay. Perfect. Well, that concludes my questions for you. So if there's nothing else, then I wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you.